Good morning, everybody. I'm on my way to take my son something to eat because he is starving and he didn't take nothing to work with him for lunch. These are grown men and I'm taking food to them constantly. I have to clarify something once again because it seems like every day I start my whole video day out by saying I'm either sorry or I didn't mean to hurt someone's feelings or some that has to do with the day before. Yesterday when I was home in the evening and before the storm came, I was saying about I knew I was going to get criticism from people because once you put your life out there and you're online like that, people are going to, have something to say, whether, they can't say nothing good. It's always going to be something bad. I was on that talk and I did make a reference to, someone being 500 pounds or 300 pounds or something like that. I was not trying to insult anybody that is heavy. That it was not my intent. My intent was to show a comparison to people getting upset or ignorant or making comments about people who are online, the people who are overweight or people who are not the prettiest thing or, something like that. I was using it as a comparison, something, for like an example. I was not out to insult anybody who was overweight. That was not my intent. I mean, why would I do that? I would not insult somebody overweight. I'm trying to say that there are people out there, it doesn't matter what you look like, how you sound, what color you are. No, there you go. I'll probably get something tomorrow now. You were insulting black people. No, I was not. I'm trying to say this is the kind of people that start crap and want to push shit. I'm not trying to do that. That is not my intent. My intent was to say when you put yourself out there, it don't matter who you are, you're going to get critics. You're going to get somebody that's got something negative to say about you. And my thing was, I'm going to just suck it up now because I am putting myself out there. I'm making myself somebody that is on the internet that you're going to get troll type people that are going to have nothing nice to say, that their lives are so miserable that they're going to find something to nitpick at. That was what I was trying to portray yesterday. Not that I have something against heavy people, that I have something against colored people, or I have something against gay people, or none of that matters to me. It doesn't. Because just so you are aware, this is something else in my family. We're not all perfectly white individuals. I have black relatives. I have gay relatives. I have bi relatives. I have every kind of spectrum there is when it comes to relatives. I have them. So I'm not going to be prejudiced towards them. I never was prejudiced. I don't have problems with people who are heavy set. I don't have problems with people that are sticks. I do have problems with people that do drugs, bad drugs. Pot smoking, I don't have a problem with that. I do not consider that something that's negative. People do it around me. My kids do it. I used to. That is not going to be one of those that I have a problem with. Drinking, I don't have a problem with drinking because I do it. But I also don't drink myself stupid. I also don't drive drinking or drunk. If I have a beer, I won't drive. That's just how it is. One beer, I won't do it. I am not a prejudiced or a type of person that is going to nitpick people. So when I was making the reference yesterday about somebody heavy, it had nothing to do with me saying I did not like heavy people. Nothing. I took offense to somebody. She felt like I insulted her. I'm sorry. That was not my intent. But on the second hand, you sit there and say that you feel like I shouldn't insult people that are heavy, but you just proved my point. You just made my case when you turn around and say you shouldn't be like this, that's not right, and then turn around and say I like watching your videos though. If you like watching my videos, you know I'm not the type of person to insult anybody. That was not my intent. Me bringing up somebody that is heavy was talking about, like, for someone that is puts themselves out there, that was an example, is what it was. It was an example of people who troll other people, and that's what I was trying to say. Not that I was up against heavy people. That was not what I was trying to say. I did not insult anybody, and I kind of am getting pissed off with people thinking that's what I'm trying to do. I am not. Every day it seems like I have to come on and explain something that I said. Why is it only certain people think that I'm insulting somebody or I'm being negative towards somebody, but everybody else is like, oh, I agree with you, you're right. Is it you're not watching the entire video, or you've only watched a handful of videos? Or I don't understand where I'm getting people that think I'm trying to hurt people or insult people or I'm being negative about something. That is not what I'm trying to do, and I'm getting tired of having to come on every day and try to explain that. I was not trying to insult anybody. I wouldn't do that. I was using that as an example of people who do go online to troll people and insult them. I'm done with it now. I'm not saying nothing else. I'm done with that. Anyways, I'm on my way to take my son, or I've got to stop at McDonald's and get him something to eat. And then I am going to... Oh, shit. I am going to... The light was green and the lady behind me was getting upset that I wasn't going. See, here we go where I shouldn't be driving and talking. But anyways, I'm going to go home and try to clean my yard up. I did get a majority of all the big branches, sticks, twigs, everything that fell in the backyard. I did get everything picked up and throw it over the fence, but we can't really put it on the pit because it's green. All of it's green. It's got leaves and shit on it. From that, I mean, when that storm came through, it came through pretty freaking fast. But I'm going to try to clean up the yard. I'm going to get the blower out. I'm going to sweep off the deck and the porch. Jeff had a physical therapy appointment at 10 o'clock, but guess who came home last night and kind of buzzed? And it was... I kept telling him, I'm trying to watch my show. Go in the other room, you know. Go watch what you want to watch. And he just kept doing this. And then, so I got up at 7:30 because I have to, because Harley has to have his shot at 8. I have to have everything set up ready to go at 8. And then when I got done feeding the dogs and taking them out and picking up the yard and that, I went and sat in my bedroom and was like playing Monopoly Go. And and finally it's like Jake sent me the message saying he didn't take a lunch and he was hungry and needed something. And this kid needs to eat, otherwise he gets the shakes and he's just... But anyways, so I started realizing it's getting late. I need to get into the bedroom to find something to wear. And he was in there still sleeping. So I finally, a little after 10, said, hey, I went in there. I says, I've got to get dressed. So I'm going to be turning the light on in the closet to find something to wear. And he's like, oh, what time is it? I said, it's after 10. He's like, oh, okay, I need to get up anyhow. I says, yeah, I picked up the backyard. You know, I just kind of was talking to him. Then I got my dress out, that black dress that has the shorts. This is perfect for today, especially as hot and muggy as it's getting. And I goes up to the island in the middle of the kitchen, and I grabbed my phone and I'm getting ready. And I looked down at the calendar and I said, today's Thursday. And he goes, yeah. I says, you know, you had PT at 10 o'clock. And he's like, he's got a bowl of cereal now, and he's like shoveling it in his face, and he stops dead and looks at it. Oh shit! I said, just call him and tell him that you slept in or you forgot or whatever. Blame it on me. I don't care. I've let him do that before. Call somebody and say, oh, my wife screwed it up or something like that. I don't care. That's fine. But I told him, call him and tell him that you whatever, and see if they can reschedule you either later today or something like that. And then I says, oh, by the way, at 1:30 we have somebody coming over. Somebody called me yesterday. And we remember when we had that windstorm and that big stick came busting through our garage roof and put a hole in it. And then we had a guy that came and fixed it. He didn't fix it, he patched it. And then he was going to come back as soon as he got his other stuff taken care of so that he could also look at our gutters. Well, this guy's like, oh, well, we're in the neighborhood and we're redoing this and we're doing that and we do a lot of outside work and we want it done, have you. I says, well, we just got all new doors, got some windows, new front doors, sliding door, service doors. So we really don't need too much. We're thinking about doing siding on the house, but that's going to be later on this summer. And then he turns around and he said, well, I didn't hear you say gutters. And I says, well, that's because we got somebody that's going to be coming the end of June or early July. After he gets done doing another job, he's going to check our gutters out because we had some damage from a storm that hit the gutter and then poked a hole through our roof. And he's like, well, I want to have a chance to give a good bid, Will you give us that chance? And I said, yeah. And he goes, okay, so you're on Bayshore, right? And I went, no. We haven't been on Bayshore in a while. We're at Willow. We're over on Willow. We're at the mouth of the river. Oh, well, you're on the other side. I said, yeah, we're back behind the marina. He goes, well, what's your address? And I gave it to him, and he's like, okay, well, we'll come there. And I went, okay, if that's what you want to do. So we got him coming at 1:30, and I said that to Jeff. I says, oh, by the way, you do know we got somebody coming at 1:30. He's like, for what? I said, I told you this last night when you came home. But of course, you can't remember that because, you were pretty shit-faced. He wasn't super drunk. I'm not going to say that because he was able to drive and all that. He even had to do some dodging of some lines that were down because he was coming from the Saginaw area. But anyways, once he got home, he had, I think, 2 more beers, and then he opened up a bottle of bourbon, and he started doing some bourbon. So that's when he got really buzzed, was after he got home. He wasn't like super buzzed or anything like that. But it was kind of, he relaxed last night. I'm not going to say nothing. I like doing that too. Of course, I don't do it that often. But I'm going to have to stop because I'm going to have to order food for this kid of mine. I don't think they got breakfast going on right now. So I'm going to stop this video and come back after. Bye, everybody.